Today we're going to be discussing lower back pain, and when we discuss chronic lower back pain, this means pain that you've been experiencing for a 12-week period or more. This can mean that you wake up with that pain first thing in the morning, or you get to the end of the day after a long day of work and you have an ache in your lower back. And when we look at interventions with this, all of the evidence points towards exercise and mobilizing activity as being more successful than massage and traction and other interventions like that. So today I'm going to take you through a few different exercises that you can do first thing in the morning in bed, or exercises that you can easily do standing at your kitchen bench or even sitting at your office desk. Now remember, as always, I do like to say, discuss these things with your GP as well. If you have been experiencing persistent lower back pain, it's really important to look at other underlying health conditions that may be causing that. Otherwise, enjoy these exercises, and remember, you don't have to do all of them. Some of them, or even one of them, can be truly beneficial in improving your lower back pain. First of all, one of my favorite exercises is bending your knees in, making sure your back is nice and long, hands down by sides or arms to a T, whatever is most comfortable. Feet flat on the bed, and then you're going to rock your knees all the way from one side over to the other. So you'll see here my torso is nice and still on the bed, but I'm rocking my knees as far as I can from one side to the other to really get some movement through my lower back. So a nice controlled movement from side to side, and about 20 seconds of this exercise here. Number 2 is a 2-for-1, because not only are we going to mobilize the lower back with this exercise, but we're also going to build strength through the hamstrings, glutes, and lower back. And this is an exercise that I think everyone should do every day, regardless of if they're living with lower back pain. So lying down, now make sure, if you know that you've got weakness through your hamstrings, that you bring your knees in closer towards your hips. However, if your hamstrings are pretty well behaved, you can bring your feet a little tiny bit further away. From here, what I want you to do is to start off just with a little scoop of the pelvis and then arch your back through the other way. So little rocks here of your pelvis, imagining that your pelvis is a little bowl of soup and you're tilting that soup towards your belly button and then tilting the soup towards your heels. So a little rock back and forth. Now this might be enough for you. However, if you can tolerate a little bit more, squeeze your glutes and lift your hips high up towards the ceiling, and then gently lower your hips all the way back down. Pressing through your heels, lift the hips to the ceiling and lower all the way back down. So keeping up with this movement for about 2 rounds of 10 if you can, but if you're strapped for time, 10 reps of this will be absolutely fine. Number 3 is a 2-for-1 as well. So you are going to be lying down on your bed, and starting off, we pull one knee into the chest, lengthen that leg back out, then pull the other knee into the chest. Now, if you want to get a little bit more out of this for your core, remember that the core is not the be-all, end-all for lower back pain, but we do want to build up all over body strength. So to make this a little bit more beneficial, slow down the lower of the leg. So pull the knee into your chest, then slowly lengthen that leg all the way back out to better recruit through the core. Now, part 2 of this exercise is bring the knee up to your chest and bring that leg over to the other side of the body. So you'll see here, I'm opening up this side of my body, my right side of my body, as my right leg kicks right over to the left. I bring that leg all the way back down, and then I bring my left knee up high and across my body, and I use my right hand here to pull that left knee down into the bed. So stay with a few of these. I would probably stay with this whole exercise, so the knee pull-ins and kickovers, for about a minute to get as much movement through the hips as possible. So pull that knee right across the body. As I say at the gym, I'm not huge on holding stretches for a long period of time. If you're warming up first thing in the morning, you want to keep it nice and dynamic to bring some movement into those muscles. This next exercise is a great one to do whether you are standing in the kitchen and you've had a sore lower back from standing for ages, or you can do it in the office when you've just been sitting at your desk for a while. So hands start shoulder width apart on the bench. Feet should be about 1 meter away from the bench or from your desk. And I like to have a height that's around about hip height, but slightly lower or higher is absolutely fine, as long as it's comfortable for you. So hands resting on top, sitting the hips right back. Now you'll see here, I am bringing my shoulders and bringing my head right down in line with my upper arms and then I'm standing all the way back up tall. So I'm not rocking back and forth on my feet here. My feet stay well and truly in contact with the ground. So big toe and heels are in contact with the ground. Coming all the way down into a nice deep squat position and then coming all the way back up. Now I'm maintaining a neutral spine, so I'm not rounding my back. I'm keeping my gaze slightly ahead as I come down so that I'm not rounding my back and looking down at the floor. Now, from here, I like to go into a little bit of side bending. So standing up nice and tall, sliding your hand all the way down just to the outside of one knee and then all the way over to the other side. So I'm not bending forwards or backwards to get this range. And remember, you might not have this range, so reduce your range if you need to. But the part two of this is bringing one arm right up and over to get a stretch through the side of the body, and then right up and over on the other side to get a deeper stretch right through the sides of your body. Like the glute bridge, this next exercise is a fantastic way to strengthen through the hamstrings, glutes, and lower back. I'll demonstrate first without a weight, and for those of you that would like a progression, we can add some weight to it. So maintaining a nice flat back position, feet about hip width apart, I slide my hands down to my knees. So see here, I'm not bending my knees. So for those of you with arthritis through the knees and get really sore knees, this is a fantastic exercise for you because there's minimal bending through the knees. Slide down, so bring your back almost to a flat horizontal position, then squeeze the hamstrings, you should feel them stretching, squeeze the glutes, squeeze the lower back, and come all the way back up tall. Sliding the hands down, coming right down, so as far as you can till you get that good stretch through the hamstrings, and then squeeze the glutes to come all the way back up. So about 2 rounds of 10 of these is a really good option. However, if you want more, take some weights, take one heavy weight, whatever you like, something you can hold in front of your body, make sure it's symmetrical though, and then slide those weights just as before, right down to knees or just below if you feel that good stretch through your hamstrings, then squeeze the hammies, squeeze the glutes to come back up tall. So if you get pain through your hamstrings or if you cramp through your hamstrings with a lot of other exercises, this is a great one for you too. Finally, one of my absolute favorites is cat-cow or happy cat, sad cat. So hands are shoulder width apart, knees directly under hips, and we arch our back up towards the ceiling as you exhale all the way out, and inhale as you stretch all the way through the other way. So aiming to get as much movement through your spine as possible, making sure that your neck follows where your spine is going. So when my back arches to the ceiling, my head drops to the floor with control. And then as I arch my back and poke my hips back behind me, I look up towards the ceiling. The neck is part of the spine. We need to keep it moving too. Now, some people find that they don't get as much of a lower back stretch here. So what you can do is sit your hips back towards your heels. So see, I'm sitting right back, almost in a child stretch here. And then arch the back one way, then the other way here. You will not find that you get as much of a range of motion, but some people find that they get a much better stretch through the lower back with their hips sitting back towards the heels. I hope you enjoyed these exercises. Please let me know if you'd like any other series of movements. I'm always happy to send some things out. I love doing this. Have a great weekend. Bye.